My name is Kai Trin. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I was born in Vietnam, migrated here to the U.S. when I was about 2.5, 3 years old. Growing up, I lived in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and went to Catholic school all my life. So from a sports perspective, the only thing I did was basketball. So having a high metabolism, being 5'8", I was a pretty lean person all throughout grade school and high school. I graduated high school weighing about 125 pounds.
I'm Josh Halliday. I'm 26 years old. I've been bodybuilding. This will be, my first show was in 2011. So basically I started lifting at a pretty young age. I started playing football when I was 7 years old. I mean, I was one of those kids running around with the helmet that was bigger than their body and the shoulder pads that were way too big, and started playing football, and that was what I wanted to do. I was all indulged in football, 110%.
It wasn't until college that my college roommates got me into working out, picking up weights. They were wrestlers, so we went to the gym, we trained, ate our faces off, and just tried to lift as much weight as possible. So in reality, it wasn't anything structured. It was just more or less, going in there and just pushing weight around. When I graduated college, I worked for a consulting company for a number of years and put on weight. So I hit a point in my life where I felt out of shape. I reached a weight of about 160 pounds, but I was very unhealthy. I had trouble walking up and down the stairs, shortness of breath. Those types of things really clicked to me, and I started to notice like my health just kind of going downhill.
Played football up until middle school and through high school, and then right around middle school, one of my neighbors had a gym in his basement, and so I used to go over after school and start lifting weights with him. And I figured, be the best football player possible, I got to be strong. I was a running back, so I wanted my leg strength, my upper body strength to be there, and so we started lifting probably 3-4 days a week in his basement gym. In around 7th grade, and then I think around 8th or 9th grade, my mom got me a gym membership to the local gym.
It was at that point when I stumbled across a contest that people were entering to do body transformations, and it caught my interest because these people, in a matter of a few months, was able to transform what it looked like to be very unhealthy to be very athletic and very healthy and very chiseled. So it got me into doing more research in terms of how I could get to that point. How can I get back to looking healthier, more in shape? So doing what most people do, you jump online, you try to do research on training and diet, and I found out that a lot of people who were successful in transformations hired a coach.
I started going like 6-7 days a week, just overtraining, doing everything twice a week. I mean, I lived in the gym, and I figured the best way to be a successful running back would be to be strong and have upper body, lower body strength and conditioning. And so I really found myself living in the gym when I wasn't on the football field. So you bring me to high school. I was continuing in the gym, and then I went to college for football, went to Monmouth University, and the first day that I got there, we had a run test. And I was stretching and getting ready, and on the first sprint of the first day of football camp, I tore my hamstring. Right off the bat, I was in rehabbing my hamstring, and all I could do was lift upper body and find myself living in the gym even more so than before. And so I was rehabbing it in the gym, and it got to the point where they wouldn't let me lift in the gym without the football team anymore. So what I did was I joined the gym off campus so that I could continue to lift on my own. And this gym was called Pearl Street. It was right around the corner. And I met the owner, Rob, and he right off the bat was like, you're a bodybuilder, like you're physique, you got to do this, you got to get on stage. And at this point, all I wanted to do was play football. So I was continuing to rehab my hamstring. And then I came back the next year and I re-aggravated it and then hurt my groin as well. And at the end of my sophomore year, the coaches said, you know, you're so big and powerful and strong that we want you to be a fullback. Come back as your junior year as a fullback. And I just said no. At this point, it wasn't enjoyable for me. I didn't come. I never played that position before. After 13 years of playing football, I wasn't going to change now. And so I just threw in the flag and just switched gears.
So I ended up posting online to look for a coach and was able to find a natural bodybuilder who coached in the area. So we worked together for about 9 months. And during that time, he suggested to me that if I was putting in as much work as I was doing, might as well step on stage. And I never in 100 years would ever think about competing. And he brought up the idea and mentioned to me that I needed to do something to hold myself accountable, to step out of my comfort zone. And when he initially said that, the first thought to me was, why would I want to step on stage wearing, a little posing trunk and be in front of hundreds of people and embarrass myself? Because I didn't feel from a physique standpoint that I was a bodybuilder. I just wanted to be in shape.
When I was 21, I decided I'm going to do my first show next year. I'm going to give myself a year, and I'm going to do my first show. And so I started training at that point when I was 21, and it hasn't looked back since.
Switching over to health and fitness, and my coach suggesting to step on stage, I told him, I give it a try and see how that works. So, I prepped with him for 9 months, and I ended up stepping on stage in 2010 at a weight of 160 pounds. So to me, at 5'8", 160 pounds, that's considered pretty lean, but I was ripped and I was shredded. So, I was very happy with the transformation that I went through, and I learned a lot about diet. I learned a lot about, self-discipline and, just willpower to not, eat anything I wanted to eat. And it just was something new to me that after that show became a passion that I wanted just to be better at. So that's how I got into bodybuilding. And it wasn't until, I would say last year or early this year, that it started to click to me that, I'm a bodybuilder now.
Mr. Holiday's trying to kill me. Woo. Oh, it's a wrap.
I put a lot of focus into what I really want and what I'm passionate about. So, that's led me to this point.